We're talking about how much we'll blow money when we get our maybe our first $100 million. Maybe the account is credited or something of that sort. So we'll take a quote from one of your videos and then get into a bit more now. You're tuned into 3FM Lounge with AJ Helen and joined by Jim Iyke right about now.
I was worth 500 naira. But today, I'm worth 500 million naira. I have an empire that's worth that much. Now, do you know how I traveled from 500 naira to 500 million? I walked. And when I was exhausted with walking, I ran. And when I'm tired of running, I fly. And every time I want to give up, I think about you. Your voice, your face pierces my heart, and I tell myself, Barry, just one more step. And I take that one step. Every rich man I met, different countries, different corporations, different investments, different disappointments. At the end, I got what I wanted. And finally, I made it. But there was just one thing. I proved everything. And that was... You will come back to me, I'll show you.
The friendship we had was great. It was over a long time ago. Barry, please, go away and don't come back. It's over. Okay? Excuse me.
Funky Friday with AJ and Helen on 3 Lounge.
Now, I think I'm going to use that quote when I walked. And when I couldn't walk, I crawled. And then I walked. And then I ran and I flew. When I make that 100 million, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. You know how I made it? I walked. When I couldn't walk, I flew. Abi? That's it.
No.
I ran. Abi?
Shit, no, you crawl. No?
So I crawled. Then I walked. Then I ran. Then I flew.
Aish.
Come on.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeff.
I'm lost for words. I didn't know I was going to be off for caricature on this morning. But that's a good thing right there.
How are you doing? How's Ghana been? Ghana is your second home, largely.
Third home.
Your third home. Okay, so what's your second home?
US is my second.
Okay, and then Nigeria is your first home. So in terms of all your 3 homes, whose jollof is the best? Whose jollof is the best?
Okay, we had this debate yesterday. This man nearly lost his life yesterday when I offered him his first Ghana jollof, which he took it and was about to make a statement that will not allow him back into that country. We stopped him, saved his life.
Oh, we thank God.
And told him to hold his peace and tell us in the car so that we can throw him out in the highway. But he had common sense not to tell me till now. And I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
But there's something I saw in his face that was sheer betrayal of a whole nation. You know?
That's what Ghana jollof would do for you.
So don't ask me what would make them hang me on a pole back home. Because that debate is one of the most dangerous debates on the
I know, isn't it?
A minister nearly lost his job because of that debate.
No way.
Yes. He said... the CNN guy, what's his name of the guy? The travel host?
Richard Quest.
Richard Press came to the country and I asked him what the best jollof rice was. Our minister for something, entertainment or something, said that it was Senegalese jollof rice.
That is treasonous.
My dear, he didn't enjoy that office till he left.
I mean, is he wrong? And the Senegalese always get annoyed with us when we enter the
Just
chat.
because you started it doesn't mean that
jollof
you
comes
haven't
from
made it
the
better.
Wolof tribe, right?
Wow, here we go again.
But I'm not Senegalese.
But just because you started it doesn't mean that I didn't make it
people
better.
that started an idea and it
you.
went ahead of them and became better. That's what we do, my dear.
Thank
we
you.
take ideas from people and make it better. End of story.
I love it.
You know?
But what is the verdict, though? Is it Ghana? At some point, we have to come to an objective conclusion once and for all about this debate.
You know, this one, I want to be totally petty about it. I want to be totally sentimental about it. There's no other way to have this debate except one singular way. I told the gentleman at the show yesterday that an American ate our jollof rice. And by the way, shade intended, is Ghanaian American.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Nah, man.
He ate it.
At this point, I know where it's going
and he
towards.
said the most tantalizing taste board.
God.
You know, he said, he used words I didn't think existed. that he ever tasted that brought his taste bud alive, literally. Was
He's American. We don't claim him. We don't claim him. No.
He has a house.
No.
It's not far from my apartment.
Everyone is allowed to live in Ghana, but we don't own. We cannot claim him for betraying us like that.
So
no.
It's all Pettyville.
We're going there. But you're in Ghana for a very exciting reason.
Yes.
For Sin.
Yes.
Now, walk us through this amazing production, because I've seen the trailers and I'm so excited to watch it this evening.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is allow my friend, with your permission,
Yes,
of course,
please.
Mr. Wadike Kene Wadike,
Hi.
who starred in the movie.
Yes.
He's a true superstar. He's also my brother.
Okay, hi Kenneth. Welcome. Do you come to Ghana very often?
It's his first time.
No.
Yeah, it's the first time. That's
my
why it's a special
goodness.
thing. That's why he nearly
this.
lost his life trying to advocate.
So you saw the goodness and then you knew that, you've been deceived.
My brother.
By
Plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Yes. They've done this to yeah.
You saw a higher culinary experience.
I can't save you when you go home if you try this. I promise you. They will set you on fire.
But have you tried water though?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. You must. You must.
Amazing.
I think that is our second best export.
Okay.
Even though I've seen some Nigerians online now trying to claim it, which I don't understand.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Let peace prevail.
Yeah, let's leave it
We've
there.
never
Let's leave it.
claimed.
You
saw it as well.
There's a food critic.
Are you guys trying to start a war?
No, a food critic was claiming it. So saying that.
Who? A food critic?
Yes, the best.
On behalf of the nation, we deny him. He's not one of us.
God bless you.
That's
God
all right.
bless
Well,
you.
then, as long as you allude to the fact that jollof rice, in all its glory, is our crown glory. We created it for the world. It's our greatest export. Okay.
Senegal. Well, that's okay.
In Senegal. You know, it takes almost 2 days to cook. Who wants to wait that long? Yeah? It takes almost 2 days to cook one dish with everything that will run your stomach in it. Have you seen them preparing that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's exhausting just watching
It doesn't look
And then they
very
put
appealing.
big pieces of cabbage. You have to try it.
It doesn't look very appealing. I'm
As a
sorry.
proud Ghanaian, I've got to give it to the Senegambians.
I'm
they
sorry. I'm
yes,
sorry.
I've been to the Gambia a few times, and I had the same perception. Ghanaian jollof is superior. Forget about the Nigerians. And then Senegal entered the chat, and I concede. And
Senegal.
We'll come.
We'll move on. We'll move on.
No,
Senegal jollof rice. What are you talking about? I thought you were an ally. What's going on? You're not even taking second. Have you checked this girl's passport?
It's her British side that is talking right now.
Have you checked it?
It is her British
thoroughly?
side.
They love Americans now. Second. She's second
I would have
generation
said that
Ghanaian.
we would do like an arm wrestle to win, but if you see what the muscles are looking like today, I had no idea.
They came with a gun.
That's on a separate day. We digress.
Hi, Kenneth. Sorry, we're crazy like this. So, tell us about the experience being in Ghana now, and also walk us through Sin and the entire production and how it was.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, I keep getting a pub everywhere.
Yeah.
I like it. You know, from the moment I stepped out of the plane, fresh air. It's good to be in Ghana. I'll make Ghana my second home.
We love that, yeah.
You know, the people are warm and everything.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
which makes me believe that Sin is going to be premiered here amazingly today.
Yes, of course.
Sin is a movement, like I always say. It's not just a film. It's a movement that started a long time ago from the creative mind of our executive producer here, Jim Iyke, who literally wrote the story. You know, he told the story. And I will tell you for sure that Sin is that one film you don't want to miss. You know, it's an experience. You have to experience Sin. You don't need to be told. You need to experience it.
Yeah.
You know, so the first kill is already showing. It dropped on Amazon Prime yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's already showing. Then the second part of the film, you know, Blackout, is going to be dropping next month.
Okay.
You know. But
Amazing.
today, everybody coming out should come out and experience it, because we are going to be showing the two, part 1 and part 2.
The 30 minutes of each.
So we're getting a sneak peek?
Yes.
So we'll get to watch a bit of the part 1 and go home and finish on Amazon Prime, and then we actually get a sneak peek of next month's drop.
Yes.
Amazing.
So it's just to wake you up to understand. Okay, I'm not going to miss this one.
Now, walk us through the premise of Sin for those that haven't as yet watched the trailer.
Okay. I remember when I saw the trailer, because I like the fact that I didn't get to see the film.
Okay.
Right? Even even when he was like, "I'm inviting you for
I caught it.
Okay.
I said no.
You wanted to watch it on the big screen. I love it. Yeah.
I felt every energy and every bit of it, you know, the excitement that was in the room. I felt it deep within
Abuja.
and it was an amazing experience, which is why I said anybody coming today is going to feel the same way. So it's an action-packed film that when you follow the storyline, it's never been told the way we are telling it. And then we starred a lot of amazing actors. You know, people brought their end game. Jim is, of course, is a legend for a reason.
Literally is,
I can guarantee you, whenever you see him appear on screen, you feel the chills. You know that he's still that actor that have it, you know, to forever do him part with that, you know, craft. So it's a film that it's going to keep you on your toes, and you know the suspense is there. What's going to happen next?
Okay.
You know, so Sin is here already. Sin is here. We keep saying Sin is coming.
Yes.
Sin
It's arrived.
has arrived.
We love it. So it's streaming now on Amazon Prime. So anyone who can sneak behind their boss right now and then start watching it behind the computer can be able to do so.
Absolutely.
I love it. Now, what made you create the story, Jim?
I just felt it's a genre that's been quite elusive over time. The action thriller genre, it's one that's eluded us for the longest time, and everybody was beginning to feel the jinx, for lack of a better word. And I thought it had to be broken one way or the other. I quite recall a friend of mine, he's married to a Japanese lady. I was in Japan and we were catching up in Tokyo, and you know, he started suggesting, hey, that he has this project. As soon as we got back to Nigeria, he was going to come to my office and pitch it. He came with his team, they pitched 5 films. Sin was last. Immediately I heard Sin, I said, this is the one I want. So he had the biggest budget, of course he had the largest collaborations. We needed superstructures in order to bring it to light. The others were seemingly easy. Projects I've done before. So at that time I had like 3 or 4 projects on Amazon that I produced, and I was looking for the next big thing. Okay, and I've never really made films, you know, the slapstick humor films you walk into the cinemas and whatever dopamine it, you know, activates in you, come out feeling good and say that's a great film, all devoid of good analogy and logic. And I always thought, as a filmmaker, it's my mantra to create films that are more like satires, films that question, you know, visions in the society, shift paradigms, provoke debate, and get people to rethink what they think is logical in society. And when we did, I remember when we crafted a movie called Back Comment. That was a peek into the social media ecosystem, and then it was people started questioning themselves whether this is the new reality and so on and so forth. Sin is like that. It's the underground society that we didn't think that exists. It's drug addiction. It is now, you know, for a long time we thought Africa was a hub.
Yes.
We're the destination now. This is where the barons have come to set quarters. They've sent experts for salt testing and the likes. It's in advanced stages now. Okay?
Wow.
Every tier, every echelon of society, it's embedded in this. We have billionaires who are out there, successful men that were singing their praise, that are involved in this business in league with the government. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's happening.
It's reality.
Yes. Our research was extensive. I was very close to an FBI agent when I lived in Atlanta. I'm not the type. No, I mean high tier. She wasn't into, you know, sharing secrets and all that. But there are certain facts, if you understand how they can show you how to research it. Open files that is accessible to the public. You know, cases that have been investigated already and open for public access that you can check, and you begin to understand just how deeply involved we are. And how this is swept under the rug. And then, of course, in the face of so much distractions, we're talking sports events, all sort of distractions that come with a government drama. It's all in league with them. This is the trade that determines leadership. GDPs in certain countries even, and certain extensive economic implications that we can't even begin to fathom. I was kind of close to the president of Gambia at some point when we were invited for an event, and you know what the event was? They were burning cocaine seized from dealers. The triangular state of Senegal, Gambia, and Guinea-Conakry are the new hubs that they take it just across the water in Europe.
Wow.
Okay, so this is an extensive ground that I'm telling you blows human imaginations. And people are just sitting around going about their everyday life, and you don't understand that. How come this thing is readily accessible all of a sudden?
Exactly. Because you now see a lot of people, even the clubs, sharing pills.
Where they grow the field? You think the airports, you think is porous now? No, they don't need to bring into the airport. They're here. It's been harvested, processed here, and then they're selling it to the public. It's a full-blown commerce going on. The consumerism is happening right before our faces. Mm-hmm. And because we're not in the know, we're not in tune with that reality, nobody's facing that fact. That is what sin is about.
That is very interesting. It's one thing to hear the conspiracy theories, right? And what's most alarming is to hear from Jamaica this morning that we're no longer just a transit point. Actually,
we always thought we were.
We always thought, well, this is a transit point. But to hear that the buck stops here is interesting. And when you talk about not being able to extricate government from this illicit activity,
because how are they? How is it possible for them to function freely without certain? I mean, we're not throwing accusations. Okay, well, for context, recently our government burned acres of marijuana field in Nigeria, acres of it.
True.
How did it grow? Are you trying to tell me within that environment the authorities were not in the know? It grew. It takes the period it takes from seeding for it to come to a full-blown plant. Nobody saw it and thought it was cocoyam or cassava. I mean, come on, man. Nobody can claim that level of naivety as regards this situation.
Interesting. But I did want to ask, how often do you wear this dual hat of acting and then producing? Is that typically how it goes, and how easy or difficult is that?
Extremely difficult, as it were. The transition, of course, started some 6-7 years ago. Over the years, when I was fully, in the whole acting space, I started growing certain businesses that I put in the hands of other people, and then. I think after my first son, I decided I was going to take a prolonged hiatus and go to proper symposiums, conferences, train myself, some sort of an advanced, positioning of sorts to run my business myself. And so time had to be taken away. I can get pretty intense about my pursuits, sometimes. And I knew that there was no how I was going to multitask these two careers. So one had to take the entirety of my body, soul, spirit, in order to pursue to the end, understand that it wouldn't do to be at the back burner all the time and people giving me reports on businesses that took my blood, sweat, and tears. I just had to be fully involved. So after a while, I came to understand as the businesses grew and became more successful, I knew that I had lesser time for what I loved most. And so it became some sort of a natural metamorphosis to, take more the economic positioning of film creation and then become a financier and then try and seek out projects that even if I do it once, my last project was 3 years ago, even if I do it once a year, once every 2 years, I have earned the right. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying this lightly or with any stroke of ego. I'm saying that I've earned the right to come and go as I please in this industry. If for nothing, I think that is what I deserve. So I believe every time I have to come and say something, it had to be loud.
I like that. Now, with your evolution in the industry and looking at the industry and how it's sort of grown now, what are some of your biggest, observations or joys on how the industry as you know it has evolved over the last years?
Well, it's the era of the Kenneth Nwadi case. It's that time where I sit back and I really look at how I started the industry, the mountains literally we had to surmount, and then I'm looking at the access to unbelievable technology and information now that these guys access. Of course, there's advancements. They are doing it under an auspice that is far more advanced than we did it. We did it through blood. We had to pay dues and with our spirit, literally. Social media can make you famous overnight.
I swear.
Without paying dues. We all know that.
Yeah.
So, but some of them still put in work. This gentleman here puts in work. I know a few of them that put in work. It gratifies me to see that the mantle is handed to a better generation, even if they're small circle. Some don't get it. They take it for granted. They totally misinterpret what fame stands for. It's not arrogance. It's not grandstanding. It's not virtual signaling. It's not drama in the public opinion space. It's just putting your head down, letting your work speak for you. You know, so sometimes I'm a little silently at their ad with a lot of emphasis, critical of the way they approach things these days. I think it lacks integrity. It lacks that substance that makes us human. It's become culturally cool to be cruel these days and take shortcuts to rise up the ladder. That is, I think, the only place that I have my misgivings. But other than that, I really firmly believe things are in good hands, especially coming from the position of now being an investor. I have to be careful where my economic value is. I have to be careful the kind of conversation I have on my table. And I'm not just really fixated on famous people, because now it's attainable superficially and it's lost its substance. I'm about who are you. I never make a point of listening to people. I don't listen to people. I just watch their action. And so when I understand that you have a direction, you have an understanding of who you are, firm, single understanding of who you are, I want to work with you, because it's not an immediate thing. We don't do this to burn bridges, and the next time I'm trying to harness talent from, I want people that can last the journey. And so I've always been very careful, the people I call team.
I like that. With the amount of increased distribution now these days, to be able to get out the content, at some point, it feels even like it's a sensory overload of how much content Nollywood or the rest of the African continent is producing in terms of content. Do you think the storytelling has improved or declined?
Extremely declined. It's not sustainable. It's not scalable. Everybody's on YouTube now, throwing content out, as you well know. It's being eroded. It's being overflooded. Nothing good comes out of excess information, excess content. There's one narrow space that's cohabiting with everybody. Already they're coming with restrictions and cutbacks that it's not managing the space properly. So it's so hard to tell real talent from people that are just surviving and passing through and using it as a means, to
an end.
To an end. So that's where it is. There's when you have that mix of so many good, great, and terrible content, it's hard to make the separation. Okay, so that's the situation with media now. The now media is a race who is in the forefront. It's not just about substance anymore. So and being able to, the dissemination of content now is not more about quality. It's about who gets out there first, who can create more drama, who can, in a sense, manipulate the algorithms. Okay, so you see that some of the most popular films out there, the films that are making the 1 million, 2 million, they lack basis, they lack substance, they lack talent. And then the guys that are actually in the nitty-gritty of creation, that are doing this thing properly, that God naturally gifted to do this thing, are in the backlog. They're not getting their visibility whatsoever. So in time, like everything else, remember the advent of CDs and everything. In time elapses, that's the one thing you cannot control, the change. Okay? It is YouTube now. Okay? Very soon, I'm telling you, and quote this, the prophet of doom. I'm not a prophet of doom. I'm just stating as times be speaking. Look at me. The streaming platforms are going to be redundant very soon. I promise you. This streaming content, YouTube will be the new upload, the new standard. Okay, and that too will be eroded because these boys are in the back burner creating. Every day, I mean, come on now, a couple of years, the transition it's so fast these days, we barely can keep up.
That's
a year
right,
ago, it was ChatGPT. Look at what's going on now. That software, that creation is looking redundant already.
Because they're newer and bigger and better AI platforms.
I'm in the past. I've only just jumped on. Wait for me, guys. Wait for me.
That sentiment is what the reality is. You can barely catch your breath when the next one comes. Okay? So that is what's happening in content creation. Skip makers are the ones in the forefront making so much money now. Now they are getting frustrated because every time they raise a team, the team can't wait to go start off theirs. And then the ripple effect continues and it goes on and on until they implode. That's what happens when there's an overflow, there's implosion. You cannot control it. Already, YouTube can't handle the content you get. So it keeps coming up with different restrictions, different rules to the game that lesser people are not keeping up with because they are overflooded. When the superstructures, Netflix, Amazon, and the likes came in, I mean, we set our standards. We had a meeting. We told them that this is who we are. We're the biggest market. We control, we're the pivotal front for the continent. You deal with us on our own terms. Excuse me. Our people went behind and told them that, hey, this is what it takes to make this film. Don't listen to these guys. They're well off. We're the ones struggling. Give us this budget. And we're going to create what they're asking for. And they released the budget and they did it. So now these guys are like, when we came out, like, let's sign contract, let's get things.
They said, we moved on.
We'd rather deal with these guys.
Wow.
And then they overloaded it with content. Go to Netflix. It's a dumping ground.
Yes.
Bro. You understand me?
Sadly.
The good, bad, and ugly is out there.
Yes.
It's even Amazon that still has a bit of fortitude and attempts to have a certain standard and boundaries as to what they take. I mean, you understand me? Even them, they are struggling, but that's what it is. Okay? Over 250 million people, predominantly youthful, creating content. Okay, it's become the new standard, the barometer for survival. So at the end of the day, that narrow space will not be able to contain
everybody.
Wow.
Did COVID accelerate what we're seeing at this point? Because at that point, everybody was at home content creating. You couldn't go anywhere. What else were you going to do?
The Matrix was created in that era. Okay, the explosion happened because people were caged over a protracted period of time. So as soon as it came out, there was need for expression, need for people to come out and be heard and seen. So first of all, they loaded, and that's where the whole idea of I think that's where they started to take over gradually. Okay, because there was just enough, there was more than enough over time that was created for them to create their mantle and set their structures up. So but after that, it just became the battle cry for everybody that's trying to make it. Once they don't have a job, it's ridiculous. We have great grandmothers being content creators, doing the most. There's some things I see, I'm like, no. I get used to it. My mind is pretty elastic, but it can't expand to this point. You can't do this one. You're almost 90. You can't do this part, okay? And then the young guys and the ladies, how can you bring a measure of morality and standard in life when someone has set a new standard and nudity and nefarious behavior in front of a camera? For crying out loud, OnlyFans earn more money than some Fortune 500 CEOs.
True.
I did a research recently, and I was looking at one of the highest paid OnlyFans celeb, China used to be married to the Kardashian, the Robert.
Oh, Black China.
Hazard a guess how much she makes per month? Wildest.
No, I think she stopped that now. But I would say, she's completely changed her life.
No, my dear. Just give me a figure. We'll come to that.
I would say a month. I think she was maybe $1 million a month.
Let me shock you. $20 million.
Huh?
$20 million. Pull up your Google. Check. She makes over $20 million. How many Fortune 500 PhD CEOs, billionaire status makes that kind of money?
Every month, 20 million.
Yes.
Helen, at this point, we know OnlyFans is not so bad. I mean.
Send me your pay.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to go into a quick fire round where we're going to ask you, and first thing that comes to the top of mind, please